Cool. We're live.
We are. I can't see us
Okay.
on YouTube. Are we for sure streaming on YouTube? Because I don't see it. Sorry, I'm looking. Okay, here we are. Okay. Hi. All right, well, welcome everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. And we are about to begin our actor equality webinar with the Apify community team and Apify development team. So right now we have Hansa in the studio. I'm joining over here from France. I'm Ella. I'm your local community manager. You'll find me in Discord. You'll find me on Reddit. So anywhere where you engage with Apify community, I will be there. Feel free to reach out to me during or after this stream and we can chat further. But in the meantime, I want to introduce Hansa, who has been working tirelessly for the last few months on this feature called Actor Equality. It has hit your console recently, and a few of you have come to us with questions about how it works and why it works. So Hansa's agreed to share with us a little more about this today. And we're really looking forward to digging into the whys, the wheres, the hows of actor equality with you. There is a spot for you to share your questions. So if there are any questions that come up while Hansa's speaking, please feel free to type them in the chat and we'll review those afterwards. We're going to get started in just a few minutes. We're going to give folks a couple of minutes to join. If you want to, right now, you can start by introducing yourself in the chat so other folks know who you are and where you're joining from, maybe whether you've been developing actors. If you want to, I think it would be cool for you to share the link to your page in Apify store where people can check out your actors and check out your developer profile. So feel free to share that. But also, be cool and don't be spammy because nobody likes a spammer. So thank you for being respectful and thank you for not spamming. Okay, well, with that said, I think we should start to talk about actor quality. Hansa, would you like to take it away? I'm gonna share your.
Awesome. Thank you for the introduction, Ella. Yeah, let's send it. Okay. So today I'm gonna show you a little bit about actor quality. We're gonna have a look at what it is, why we built it. It's a very complex thing. It took us, like Ella said, a couple of months. So like why we're even bothering to put in the time, right? There's good reasons. And then I'm gonna quickly show you how we're doing it, a little behind the scenes. And yeah, so let's get into it. So actor quality, you've probably seen it. If not, it's in your development insights tab. It's this little score, and it shows you one number. This is the output for now, but there's a lot going on behind the scenes. So it's not just the number, but the number is just the tip of the icebergs. So let's get into it. The actor quality system is a very complex system that has two ends. It's aimed to help both the users and the creators. So it's not just aimed at one or the other. And we're trying to help the users to discover high quality actors. That's what our team is mainly focused on, and this is one of the ways we really believe we can help the users. And for the creators as well, we of course want to help the creators to build good actors, improve the user experience, drive users, drive usage. And we think that actor quality is a system that combines both of these use cases, and this screen is supposed to help you achieve exactly that. So as you can see, this is an example. Here we kind of show you where your actor is excelling, and also we identify some of the places where you could make changes to improve your user's experience. But it's not just a thing to like rank your actor. It's also a way for us to communicate with you, the creators. If something super important comes up, we release a new feature, we have some vulnerability we need to fix, whatever we need for actors and the creator community to fix, this is like our go-to way to tell you about it. So we don't have to like reach out individually through emails and Discord. So we can show you these improvement tips and communicate to you this way, because there's a lot to do, right? There's so much to keep in mind when making an actor. you need to develop it, you need to monetize it, you need to automate testing it, and there's new features coming out all the time because yeah, we're constantly improving the platform. So new features like output schemas and limited permissions. Maybe you heard about them yesterday at the QA. They're constantly coming out, and it's probably impossible to keep on top of. Right, there's documentation where all the information is, but you'd have to constantly go to the documentation and evaluate if you implemented limited permissions for all 20 of your actors. So our answer to that is to give you personalized feedback for all your actors and give you tips for each of your actors. So here, for example, this output schema here, maybe you forgot to add an output schema to one of your actors and you forgot about it. So this is a way that we can tell you like, hey, this is still missing, and because users want that, and it's also very useful in case of some features. I just wanted to show here an example that this can become really useful when we make updates. And for example, some feature was not that important or was like medium important, and it becomes even more important. Imagine we have output schemas, right? And they're useful for the users, but then we release a new feature that kind of previews them in the console. Well, suddenly the rendering of that output is dependent on you having an output schema, which makes it even more important. So this is a way for us to push these updates to you, even for existing stuff. And like, why do we know what to push? We're a big company. We're growing as a company, and we have a lot of people specifically building actors. There's over 30 people working on actors, developing them, talking to users of their users, and they're all getting feedback, and we're aggregating it, and we have this huge knowledge base of all this experience, and we want to share with you. And actor quality is a way that we can do that in a very in a structured environment where like we would love to sit down and help every one of you to individually make the best actor you can, but that's just not possible, right? There's only tens of us, and there's hundreds of you, thousands of you. So this is a way for us to take that experience and determine what's most important and help you give you personalized feedback on your actors. So yeah, we're doing a lot of user calls as well, and a lot of calls with enterprise customers, which is something that a lot of developers might not have experience with. There's a big difference between requirements of regular users and power users and enterprise users, and we want to help developers drive all of those needs. And so through actor quality, we can also show these different levels of expectations from the different customers. So for example, enterprise customers have a lot stricter requirements for security, which regular users do not. So through actor quality, we can communicate that, hey, we had like 100 calls with huge companies, and they all wanted this big feature, this security thing. If you want big customers, you need to implement this, and that's like very specific thing for a very niche audience, I guess. So you just won't think to find this in the documentation. So this is our way to push these things to you. And also we have a big marketing team, and they do a lot of SEO optimization, of course. And one of the things that we have to keep in mind is that your actors are not just scripts, but they're also landing pages. And we also want to transfer this SEO knowledge to you to help you create a better landing page for your actor and market it better. So all of these things combined, 4 different use cases, 100 different insights, and we all push them into one system and one page to help you find them. And the page looks like this, and this is our way to feed this information to you at scale. Like I said, we cannot help every single one of you individually. We tried. There's a Discord, right, Ella? But yeah, this is a way to get individual feedback for every single actor. So let's hop into some of the internals. I'll kind of explain here what we're looking at and how we're putting it into the final number. There's three main pillars in the actor quality system. There's metrics that we collect, like for example, your run success rate. That's just a number in the console. That one of the many numbers that we take and we aggregate it into the final score. There's the features you're using, like we already mentioned, output schema, limited permissions. These are things that we genuinely feel that make a better user experience, or they've been in high demand by users. And we just check if you're using these. And if so, we bump your score up. And then there's the third part, the third pillar, which is user engagement. Like any big platform that has user-generated content, the engagement is very important. It's not the main part. I guess it's kind of like a third-ish, but it's a very important validator for if the thing you're making and that we think is high quality based on all the other metrics, if that's actually what users want. And that's the main part, right? Like on YouTube, for example, you can make the best video, give it a good thumbnail, good description, but if people are not watching it, we're not going to push it to more people. So if people are not using your actor, we might want to push it because it might be good. It might just not have been found yet. But it's also possible that it's not filling a use case that people want or people need to be filled. So these are the three parts that we're looking at, and I'll go into more detail a bit later. Yeah, like I said, let's talk quickly about the quality and the engagement, right? The quality of your actor is something that you can directly influence. It's something that you can fix or break, I guess. But that's something you have complete control over. And the engagement is something that's not that easy to control. But it's absolutely necessary for us to know, to have the feedback from the users that this is what they want, right? You can think of the users as kind of our judges of the actors. We have 10,000 actors in the store. We cannot judge them all manually. So, yep, we we crowdsource this to the users. Now, let's dive a little deeper into the structure of the scores. Like I said, there are many metrics and also some user stats. So the way we do this is we take the metrics, we update them every day, several times a day, and we recompute the scores. And for some of them, we do just 0 to 1. For some of them, we do some percentages, or some of them there's like individual discrete values. But for some also there's percentiles. So for example, some metrics that are heavily skewed, like for example the users that I mentioned, those are like heavily skewed to the top, right? There's actors with thousands of monthly users, but most of them hang around like 10, 20, 30. So to make it fair, we use percentiles instead of normalizing it to some other way. Now, this is my favorite slide. I want to share to you the results of the actor quality system. All right, we made this thing. We have the first numbers from 2 months ago, and this is how the actor quality scores look for all of the actors in the store. So this is at that, and they were published after 1 month. So this is 1 month from publishing. These are their scores, because of course they're skewed by the users, which are influenced by how long you've been published. So these are actors published for a month on the 7th, and you can see the average is just about 0.56. And what's really nice here is that you can see its normal distribution. which you would expect given a bunch of random variables. The central limit theorem, of course, tells you that this should be a random distribution, which it is, so it kind of works, which is great to see. But there's a super interesting thing here. Now, if I click and show you the results for Monday, so these are actors published in the last month from Monday, you will see that the distribution is actually bimodal, which is super interesting. And it's giving us, well, it's giving us a lot of question marks, but we have a theory, and we think that these two peaks are, the first one is the original one, and the second one is people have been using the actor insights and improving on them, which caused this second peak, which is people that kind of split off from the pack and moved their actor quality score to the right. And you can see in the percentiles, the P75 at the top is 0.61, and at the bottom it moved up by 5%. So this this is great feedback for us, and we want to make this even bigger, and we want to like give you the option to like really push it up, and also as a feedback to you that, you know, if people that worked on it, they're seeing results. Here's the actor quality scores compared to revenue. Now, this is just for actors who have over $100 in for actors that have over $100 in revenue, and these are their actor quality scores compared to their revenue. Now, it says cleaned actor quality score, so let me just explain what that means. The actor quality score itself involves revenue, so here it's cleaned. That variable is removed, so as to not influence it that much. And I think this is also super interesting. You can see that there's a big cluster at the bottom, but it's almost like a triangle. And you can see that as your actor quality increases, the likelihood that you'll be super high revenue is lower. But also, so this means that all the actors that have a high revenue, they have a high actor quality. You can look at the total revenue. This is $10,000, and almost all the actors have over 0.7 actor quality score. This is just a confirmation for us that, you know, this score actually means something. And it's not just random numbers that we pulled out of a hat. It's actually the data that we have based on the usage. What's a little unfortunate is that having a high actor quality score does not guarantee that you'll move up. So you can see a lot of the actors in the bottom right, they have a high quality score, but they're not making tens of thousands. But it's a good indicator that it does something. All right, is that clear, Ella? Cool. So let's now look at what you can do about the score. Honestly, just go to the tab and follow the insights there. All of them that we found actionable, we have these tips for you. There's, I think, up to 4 tips, and they should, like, if you fix them, they should disappear within a couple of hours. And yeah, honestly, just do implement these, and you will see your score move up. And if you have any questions about this, like you're not sure what the tip wants you to do, or what it even means, there's a submit feedback at the top. Please let us know. We really want this to be useful for you guys. So if there's something unclear, let us know there. And yeah, like we said, not everything is actionable. We will want to see higher users. If you want to find more users, we're looking to, or you might have to go promote your actor, or get better deals, I guess, for your users. But either way, these things are not directly actionable, so that's a bit unfortunate. But it's part of the reason we made this is that, you know, we need proof from the community that what is being built is what's useful. You want to jump in, Ella, here? You look
Yeah, I mean,
agitated.
I think that there's a part of this which is that most of our, well, not all, but a lot of our actor developers are business people, and they're running this as a business, and this is part of running a business. Is like, unfortunately, you can't guarantee yourself active users and revenue. Like, if you could, then we would all basically be incredibly wealthy and probably not working at Apify. So there's a part of this which is just, we're doing as much as we can to help you increase your active users revenue, improve your reviews, and there's a certain amount of this that is kind of out of our hands, and we have to hand that over to you. And exactly what you're saying, this is why actor quality exists, is to try and help you to improve those things. So yeah, there's going to be some questions about this afterwards, I know. So keep them coming in the chat. I am taking notes of them, and Hans is going to continue here because I'm just taking up space.
All right, let's move on. Now I want to show you what we're already using the system for. Of course, we're showing it to you, or we're showing you the tips, but that's not everything. We have some other outcomes. One of them is that you may have noticed the store homepage now shows these rising stars, which are actors that were identified as high potential actors with a lot of growth. And this is also powered by the actor quality system, but it's important to note that it's not the same number. I have another update to this chart. You can see there's a bunch of scores that we're tracking, and most of them go into the main actor quality score, but some of them also go into other scores like the Rising Star score, which results in you getting the badge in the store. And there will be more badges in the future, most likely, and they will probably be done in a similar way. So this is an even more complex system than I already told you. We're doing stuff like this to give out badges. And then, as I'm spoiling it there in the top right, we're also using this system for the Apify $1 million challenge, which is a challenge where we're inviting creators to build actors on the platform, and we're giving out money for your users. You can read more on the apify.com/challenge page. But that's not the point. The point here is to show that this is also another place where we're using the actor quality system. And here we're tracking the top placing or top scoring new actors. And we're handing out rewards, not purely based on that, but it's a very good indicator that if your actor quality score is high, you will be in the spotlight, and we will look at your actor and we will evaluate you. Plus, it's one of the requirements to qualify for the final prices. So we're also tracking, if you have all of the features that we want to see, which are also in the challenge requirements. We're also doing that through this system. And finally, what many people have been asking about, store position. We have been trying to connect this, or this was always the goal, to have this quality evaluation system to influence the position of where you are in the store. We are actively working on this. My team is hopefully gonna do it early next year. I'm not promising anything, of course, but this is the goal. We want the actors that are not on the top to be more visible, to appear higher in the default position, appear higher in the search rankings. And this is our way to kind of push you to give you more visibility if you're looking very promising and high quality. That's the last slide. Cool, I'm done, Ella. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Hansa. Thank you so much for sharing all of that. I know it's quite a lot to get through. You've been speaking for a little while, so let your voice take a break for a second. I can see that there's a conversation going on in the chat that we're going to dip into in a minute. But I think that one of the things that came up in this presentation that I've talked with a number of people about before is the Actor Quality Insights page. So just to clarify that when you go on the Actor Quality Insights page, if you have entered the $1 million challenge, then you will see another insight on that page that wasn't shown in the slide deck, which is of the criteria that your actor needs to meet in order to qualify for the challenge. So there's a checklist there as well that shows kind of just about the actor quality score. So yes, we're talking about the actor quality score, but also there's that checklist which is pulling kind of similar data. So if you have questions about that, you can also ask those in the chat, just to confirm that that's a topic that you can ask questions about. All right, Hansa, have you had a little bit of a break? Are you ready to start answering some questions?
Yes, I don't see the chat, so you're gonna have to translate them.
So I'm over here and I see that there's a bit of a conversation taking place about why certain things matter and why we are scoring certain things higher than others. So one question that comes up time and time again, and it's come up in the chat today, is why does a PPE actor have a higher ranking, or why does that affect the actor quality score? Is that something you feel you can answer right now?
I'll try. Yeah, so one of the things that we want to do as a company is enable agents and one-time use cases, like your ChatGPT to connect to Apify to scrape some data from Google Maps, for example. That's a use case we want to support, and we want also the creators to be able to make money off of that, right? We want the agent to pay for the value that they've gotten and us to be able to provide the results. And for the rental pricing model, that's just not possible because the agent would need to create a subscription and rent the actor for $40 a month, use it once, and then leave, which is just, that's not realistic. So for these kinds of use cases, the only possible pricing models are the price pay per usage, the free pricing model, then the PPR and PPE. So this is kind of our way to enable these types of customers that are growing more and more important. There's like a surprising amount of them, and we want to enable these to use the actors. And why we're pushing PPE, we're actually pushing PPE and pay per usage, and that's because we feel that those are the most universal ones. So if you don't want to monetize, you'll be pay per usage. If you do, you'll be pay per event. And then there's also pay per result. But actually, pay per result is superseded by pay per event. Pay per event can do everything that pay per result can. And we're working to replace or make it almost seamless and make them almost identical. So optimally, we would have pay per event actors that can service all the monetization needs.
Thank you.
Does that answer the question?
We'll see what the chat says. Hopefully that gives a bit more context and insight. And yeah, just if you are running pay-per result actors and you're curious about migrating to pay-per event, if you go to your actor pricing settings, you'll be able to one-click migrate your pay-per result actor to a pay-per event actor. And the results will become an event by default, and you can go in and you can customize that yourself, but there is like a one-click migration option now. So if you're curious and it's something that you've been putting off, this is the perfect time to do it. It works, so that's cool.
Awesome. And I wasn't sure if that was released yet.
yeah, it's released and it's working.
Awesome.
So let's talk more about some of the features that people are curious about the importance of. There's been a bit of chat. It's kind of died down a little bit about output schema. Just for those of you who are curious to understand output schema better and want to learn the different ways you can use it, there will be a webinar on output schema next Tuesday. There's info in Discord, there's info in Luma, and we'll be sharing a bit more of that with you all as well. But for now, Hans is going to talk about why output schema is so important to your actor.
I wasn't prepared for this question. Right, so let me improvise. So output schema is a way for us to check what your actor is outputting, and it's also super important for the users who are trying to fill their use case. So the kind of the customer here would come to the store, and they're looking for, let's say, a Google Map scraper, but they know that they want reviews and they want like the number of stars on the places. So they have these two requirements, and they're gonna go through the store and they're gonna look at the actors that are there. And now they have these two specific requirements in mind, and it's something that the actor outputs. And there's two cases, right? Either the actor has output schema, so they will just go and check the output schema, and they will see that, okay, this actor does not return reviews, it returns comments or whatever. And this second actor does output reviews, so that already like disqualifies them. This same thing is also happens for the agents that I mentioned. If they come to Apify and they have some task, this is the exact same thing that they're doing. If the output schema is missing, it's either written in the README, which is much more difficult for both people and these systems to parse, and also it gives no guarantee that what's there will actually be what the actor returns. So if you return these reviews that they're looking for and it's required in your output schema, you're guaranteed to get this stuff, right? Which makes it much easier to reason about, both when you're exploring what you want to use and when you're integrating it into your system, right? We don't want people to just use an actor once and leave. We want them to take this and integrate it into their workflow. And if they know what it returns, it's much easier to integrate. I don't know if you've ever tried integrating something that you don't know what it returns, but it's really painful.
Yeah, thank you. And again, y'all, it comes down to the fact that we want you to be able to have sustainable income from this, right? So the truth is that if you are building PPE actors with output schema that the agentic models can use, then we will build those because the demand is there for them, or other people will build them because the demand is there. So by introducing these mechanisms into the way that you publish your actors, it is setting you all up for this success that is available to everybody, with integrating with agentic models and with automation flows. So like, just remember that this is like why it's here, and it's good for all of us if you get a lot of agentic and automative customers. Like, it's good for us, like we all eat. So so this is why this stuff is in place, and this explains a little bit more of the reasoning behind it. But some folks are wanting to know like how important these factors are in determining their quality score. So like, are there any things that we can suggest to them that maybe like are more important than other things, that they could focus on if they can't do everything at once, or if they want to make sure that something is part of their workflow as they're building that actor, instead of uploading it to console and then finding out that they need to fix these things? Like, what can we say that are the key, maybe like give 3 things for people to focus on making sure that they definitely have in their actors that is going to help them get ahead with their actor quality score?
Right. I can't say exactly the weights that we're using, of course.
Okay.
But from my understanding, I didn't implement this part of the system, but I believe that the insights that you're shown in the insights tab, they're ranked in the order that we think they're important. Right? This was implemented by another team, but I think this is the reasoning that we show the highest priority alerts first, and as you fix them, if you have more than what's shown, the less important ones will come up after that. So just fix the most important ones. Make sure your actor runs. Make sure and make sure that it's providing the value, which I guess that's the most difficult one. But yeah, just take it from the top and go down.
Thanks. So just a question about the output schema. Yeah, so we are talking about dataset schema, but dataset schema are a part of output schema. If you have a look at the blog post that went out recently, you'll see that output schema, there's like several levels of output schema. So the way that information is shared comes in different forms, and the dataset schema is just kind of one form of that.
So the
There's
dataset schema is a schema for your default dataset, I think, and the output schema is what your actor directly returns, I think. check the blog post or tune in next week, right?
We're tuning in next week, right? But yeah, the output schema is required for the actor quality. I don't think we're talking about dataset schema as like the thing that the actor quality requires.
It's two different things. Yeah.
So let's talk about there's a question about whether so folks are concerned that user counts factor into actor quality score. And when it comes to publishing a new actor without having users, it feels like you're at a disadvantage. Can you maybe talk more about how this interaction works? And whether we expect, as a result of this, we would expect to see that like an actor's quality score would increase over time.
Absolutely. So this is one of the things that we're definitely worried about, and we're aware of this. We are making some mitigations to this. So, for example, one of the ways that we evaluate new actors is that we do include them in the total percentiles, but there's also a secondary metric that looks at how many users you had after a set amount of time from publishing. So I think like a month from publishing, we look at your users after a month, and we evaluate you based on other actors and their performance after a month. So even if an actor was published a year ago and it has 1,000 users, and you were published a month ago and you have 100 users, maybe they had only 50 after the first month, so you're actually better than them. But so this is a way to kind of make it a little fairer. Of course, it's never going to be fair, but like we said, the number of users is a confirmation about the quality, so it will always be there. But we are aware of these new actor problems, and we're also looking for ways to make this easier for you. So this is one of the ways that we're doing it.
Thanks. And then I think that this is like a good point to remind you all that the quality of your actor also like it gives you access to other ways of being visible in Apify store. So it's not just going to impact on your ranking eventually and like the order in the store, but also it makes you eligible for Rising Star badges and for other types of rewards that will also give you more featured visibility. And so just working on these different aspects, like maybe it feels like you have a lot to think about, and that's why the list is broken up into actionable points and things that you can work through one by one. But also the overall benefit of it is that your actor is going to like hit the different metrics that we use to measure for different types of awards and rewards that will give you opportunities to be visible in different areas. So it's not just one thing. Go ahead.
You'll like implement the features that users have been asking for.
Right.
So that's like a nice benefit that you actually do something for the users.
Making users happy. Yeah.
It's not just about the number, but it's about, people actually want this. People have been like bigger companies have been asking us to get limited permissions. So we're doing it, and now there are some companies that only use actors with limited permissions because it's their internal guideline. So by implementing this, you are pushing your number up, of course, that's always nice, but you're also unlocking thousands of customers.
Exactly. And so let's talk about the score a little bit more, and whether, so right now it looks like some categories, I'm trying to read this question. So would it be possible to show the percentiles of all categories instead of only 2 in the actor quality tab. So does that question make sense to you?
Yeah, it does.
I'm trying to visualize this. Give me a second.
Yeah, because we only show the top 2, right? And you would like to see all of them?
Yeah, I think that's what the question is, or at least more. But yeah, I think all categories would be ideal.
Right. So I don't know if we can show all categories because that would make it like trivial to calculate the what the final number is, right? And you could know or you would know exactly what to do if you wanted to like make some fraud actors, which we don't want, like have spam into the store. So we don't want you to know exactly what the final number is. So sorry about that. But we can definitely show you more, and we can also add percentiles. We've actually been thinking about in the future. Now I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about this, but I'll tell you guys. We've been thinking about showing the actor quality scores as percentiles for some vertical that you're serving. So for example, if you're a LinkedIn scraper, we would show you the percentile globally and also the percentile within your category. So you would see how you're doing among your competition. So that's one thing we would do. And also we could show more, I guess, but the thing is that not all actors are in the 90th percentile for everything. So we were a little worried that if you would show this to the average actor and maybe that actor was like 50th percentile and then maybe 30th, we were worried that would be very demotivating. So we didn't want to show this. We didn't want to show so many of these. But if there's demand for this, like let us know on Discord and we can pass the feedback on and maybe we can show more for sure.
Yeah, and you can always hit that submit button on the actor quality insights page as well.
That's right. There's the feedback button.
So yeah, if that's something that you all want to see more of, I think that that leads into another question, which is the actor quality score going to be the only factor that affects how things are ranked in the store? Is this something have we made a decision about Apify store ranking and actor quality score and their relationship yet, or
No,
is it still a work in progress?
it's very much work in progress. We don't even know the algorithm in which we're going to combine the current actor position and the actor quality position, but it's not going to be an instant change. We're going to gradually test it out, right? We have some ranking algorithm that we use now. It's pretty simple, and then we're going to slowly be starting to add the actor quality and see the results. Maybe we'll find out that it doesn't perform well. I doubt it, but it's always possible with these things. So we'll do it slowly and gradually, and then maybe if it's successful, maybe in 2 years it'll be only actor quality, or maybe it'll be 10%. We don't know yet.
Thanks. Can we say what the current system is for ranking, or is that?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know if it was ever published, so let's not.
Okay. So sorry, y'all. That's gonna stay a secret. I think we covered most of the topics that were brought up in the chat. I know that there's going to be more questions. And so just a reminder that if you do have feedback on the way that the actor quality score is shown to you, you can submit that directly from console. But also if you want to take this conversation to Discord, then we can continue to talk about it there. We are getting to the end of our time, and I want to take a second to wrap up and to say thank you to Hansa for being in the hot seat today and for explaining to us a little bit more about like what went into building the quality score, like how we're seeing it playing out in terms of the distribution of actor quality scores since we introduced the system. Talking a little bit more about the ways in which actor quality score is going to be impactful for the ranking of your actors and the awarding of certain things, and then to answer those questions. it's not always easy to not know what the questions are going to be ahead of time and to have to answer them. So thanks for offering yourself up as tribute. And and for everybody who dropped in and tuned in, watched this, and who did ask those questions, thank you. It helps us to understand better what you need and to try and shape the actor quality score into a feature that does serve you as well as for the customers, and to make sure that everybody's on the same page with it. So once again, appreciate you, Hamza. Thank you, and thanks to Philip behind the scenes as well for making this happen and making the Apify office look so nice. Thanks everybody. Have a great rest of your day, and we will see you next week for the output and I think
Output
also
schema.
actor schema.
Output schema. All right.
We're calling it actor schema to cover everything. Actor schema webinar. So bring those questions again. We'll see you then. Thanks a lot. Have a good day.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.